The nine hells is the deepest hell and the gathering place for the strongest demons. In that place, so many endless battles took place to determine the strongest demon. In the end, there was one strong person who mastered it, namely a human named Kang Woo. Kang Woo is an ordinary young man who has no family, friends, or lover. He was suddenly summoned to the nine hells and spent 10,000 years to become the strongest demon. After he consumed the last 7 demon princes of Baal, he prepared a magic that required enormous magical energy, namely armors of the 7 princess of hell, which might be able to twist the boundaries of time and space and force a dimensional crack. When the gate opened, a mysterious system appeared, which, however, Kang Woo managed to return to Earth after living for 10,000 years in the 9 hells. When he woke up, a system appeared that displayed Kang Woo's status, but his power had been sealed. Then several monsters appeared that would attack him. He was surprised because back when he was still on Earth, there were no creatures like that. He can beat those monsters easily, even though his powers have been sealed. Not only his status, he also felt physically stronger. He used the power of gluttony to collect data about the monster, and there was the same source when he was in hell. He also felt annoyed because he thought this was not the Earth he had lived in before. Suddenly, there was a cry for help. He rushed there and hoped it was a human, and not some kind of tentacled creature. And yes, it was a human. He immediately defeated the existing monsters while being overjoyed, because he had not seen a human for a long time. The woman's name was Han Siala. She was only slightly injured, and when she dropped a smartphone, it said 2023. According to Kang Woo's calculations, he has gone to hell for 5 years because of the time difference on Earth. The reason why Han did a solo gate was because he was an awakened player who was only level 6. He helped Han get out of the gate until he was amazed that the Earth had changed so much, and he still had no information. When he left the gate, he was surprised that there were so many humans, and of course, not those with tentacles. He cried with emotion. Han invited Kang Woo to treat a meal at his place. He was excited and blushed. When they arrived at the area outside the gate, there was a gate officer who wanted to check the two of them to show their identity. Kang Woo easily used his power, namely demon oblivion like hypnosis. Kang Woo was very excited when he arrived at Han's house. Han lives with his mother and older brother. Kang Woo was curious about what happened to the Earth and searched for information by borrowing Han's smartphone. He also started looking for articles in 2018 when he went to 9 Hell. According to article information, February 22, 2018 is called Calamity Day, where the world turned upside down. Unknown monsters appeared from hundreds of gates all of a sudden. Under American leadership, the World Emergency Operation was formed, and Korea became the 9th country to join. The first players to be awakened were from America, and followed by players around the world for the hope of mankind. Then, when Han served kimchi, Kang Woo felt grateful and thought back to when he had survived in hell. The reason he was able to survive for 10,000 years in hell was by defeating demons and eating them continuously for 10,000 years. And what kept him sane was only one desire to return. When they were enjoying kimchi, suddenly an angry man entered. He is his older brother, namely, Han Tae-hyun. His brother often treats Han roughly. With a grin and an intimidating look, he wanted to force Han into his guild. Since the gates opened 5 years ago, Tae-hyun became a big problem, even though their father died early and their mother raised the 2 children alone. But in middle school, Tae-hyun got involved in a violent case. After that, more problems started to arise. He even went so far as to ignore and start blackmailing his mother. Tae-hyun joined the Andres Guild players who had bad rumors. Tae-hyun wanted a higher position. Because of that, he needed Han, more precisely his appearance. Tae-hyun wants Han to accompany the elders because no girl can match Han's beauty. If he handed over the Han to an elder, he would be able to get a higher position. Han also refused vehemently, and a fight ensued to the point of ignoring his mother. Then Tae-hyun was watching Kang Woo enjoying kimchi casually. He kicked the dining table until it fell apart. However, Kang Woo didn't focus on Tae-hyun, but on his kimchi with the demonic gaze. Tae-hyun was scared to see. Kang Woo's gaze was very dark and like a very deep abyss. He thought it was just his imagination, and treated Kang Woo as just a lowly player. When Taehyun reached level 10, he had discovered a special skill called Flames of Hands. Blue flames flashed in his palms and immediately attacked Kang Woo. Suddenly, black blade appeared from the back of Kang Woo's hand. Kang Woo concentrated, lowered his head, and then swiftly parried the attack. Kang Woo hit Taehyun in the heart with the sharp move until he fell to the floor. He also tortured Taehyung with the face and gaze of the King of Hell. Taehyun was amazed because of a kimchi. There is a very crazy person. Then things calmed down. Taehyung became obedient and did household chores. But he still felt very annoyed. Even though killing in hell is a normal right, Kang Woo chose not to kill Taehyung because he is a serious criminal on earth. However, he uses skills on Taehyun, namely Arobas. The person who receives this power of Arobas gets scared and turns into a puppet that will not fight back even in his mind. Kang Woo realized that his current strength was still sealed. It would be dangerous if he met a very strong opponent. Therefore, he needed to increase his magic power and find out more information. In addition, he also really needs money for his needs. While reading the article, all players entered the gate to hunt for magic stone drops from monsters. The higher the level of the magic stone, the more expensive it is on the market. Han brought a sample low-grade magic stone for Kang Woo to check. According to Kang Woo, this magic stone contains magic, but not the demonic energy that he used to feel. To find more information, Kang Woo went with Han to the player support facility, and at the same time created a new identity for him. After arriving at the support center, Han parted ways because he had to attend basic lessons. Kang Woo finally entered the first exam room. The test was to touch a crystal ball. The darker the color, the higher the power level. Kang Woo thought that he shouldn't be caught and had to suppress his strength. However, the result was unexpected. The crystal ball didn't change color at all, and Kang Woo was assigned an F-rank player. He understood that his power was being sealed, but being an F-rank player, he was a little disappointed. However, after Kang Woo left the room, suddenly, the crystal ball turned very dark and then shattered. The examiner was surprised because no player had yet gotten a dark crystal and thought it had been damaged. Even high-level players in Korea are only gray. After the first test exam, Kang Woo headed to the E-rank gate. There are lots of players gathered with various classes. Arriving at the gate, there was a party that wanted to recruit Kang Woo for hunting, but Kang Woo refused because it was better to hunt alone. The party also reminded Kang Woo to be careful, because this is Hobgoblin territory. Kang Woo quickly found the goblins that had gathered and started hunting. Usually goblins were seen as a disgusting sight, but Kang Woo saw these disgusting creatures as a way to gather magic. In a few motions he slashed their necks, knocking their heads off. As expected, this hunt was very easy. Soon, Kang Woo's status window popped up, and he quickly leveled up. Apart from the increased status, he could also increase his demonic energy from leveling up. He used the gluttony skill to inspect the magic stones that fell from the goblins. But there's no source of demonic energy except from the goblin's body. He also absorbed all the bodies of the goblins he defeated, until finally his demonic energy increased. Not long after, a Hobgoblin suddenly appeared, which is the boss of the goblins. Kang Woo was surprised that the Hobgoblin had demonic energy, and that the Hobgoblin could control it. Kang Woo swiftly took out the black magic and dagger in his hand. Hobgoblin also attacked Kang Woo with a large enough force. Kang Woo avoided it while dealing damage to the Hobgoblin, but when Kang Woo started trying to fend off the Hobgoblin's attack, he was knocked back. The reason he was thrown back was because of the fundamental difference in body structure. Hobgoblins had enormous bodies, over 2 meters in height, and were not only fat, but also powered by demonic energy. Monsters also have emotions, and seeing their home in such a state of disrepair with their minions dead triggers anger and hatred. Seeing the Hobgoblin blinded by anger made Kang Woo smile, and started to seize the opportunity. Kang Woo uses the Crocel skill. The effect of this skill is to provoke anger and strength. The Hobgoblin was faster and stronger, but blinded by rage, its attacks became indiscriminate. Kang Woo dodged and predicted his attack with ease. He swiftly killed the Hobgoblin. A status window appears. For defeating a boss monster alone, he gains a 150% X bonus. Kang Woo finally rose quickly to level 11, and got the second awakening unfulfilled hunger special skill. The effect of this skill can absorb demonic energy from defeated enemies using gluttony. Because he wasn't satisfied, the next day, he started to enter the D rank gate. According to Han, that was Lizard Man's territory. The monster has poor eyesight, but is very sensitive to sound. Kang Woo uses the power of silence, namely the skill to eliminate sound. He also moves freely in Lizard Man's territory. Seeing the Lizard Men gathered, Kang Woo used the Andras skill, namely the power of hellfire, and this fire could not be extinguished like ordinary fire. Apart from demonic energy or magic power, this Aoi can never be extinguished, because hellfire doesn't burn the physical body, but the energy of life. Kang Woo also absorbed the Lizard Men with gluttony, and he remembered the name of the devil of hell with Taehyun's guild. He also continued to hunt Lizard Man to raise the level, status and strength also increased. When Kang Woo was resting, suddenly a party approached him. The party saw Kang Woo as a rookie because of his equipment. They invited Kang Woo to join the hunt for their guild, Andras Guild. Hearing that, Kang Woo refused and ignored them and looked for another resting place. The party leader was also very annoyed with Kang Woo and wanted to plan something. The party continued to follow Kang Woo everywhere until they got fed up because they were always being ignored. Because Lizard Men were very sensitive to sound, they used sound techniques to summon dozens of Lizard Men. They also used a barrier skill to take cover. Kang Woo grinned. He used a very loud power of sound skill, so that more Lizard Men came. Hearing the screams of the many Lizard Men that were coming, the party started to panic and fear. Not long after, the Lizard Men came in great numbers. With his power of silence skill, Kang Woo relaxed because no Lizard Man felt his presence. The Lizard Men began to attack the party until their skill barrier broke. Their bodies were torn apart and became food for the Lizard Man. Kang Woo took advantage of the situation to hunt all the existing Lizard Men. When Kang Woo started to absorb everything with gluttony, he tried to absorb the players. However, a warning appears that players cannot be absorbed and protected by the Gaia system. Because Kang Woo couldn't absorb the players' bodies, he also tried to absorb the players' skills, and it worked. His demonic energy increased rapidly. Not only the amount, but the quality of the demonic energy increased. Kang Woo couldn't wait for his third awakening. He continued the hunt. Soon he reached level 20 and unlocked the third awakening. His magic power had increased greatly, but this time, it was completely different. Every time he awakens, his myriad demon gate seal gets weaker and demonic energy flows out through the weakened seal. Not only that, he also got a new skill. He can now absorb magic stones that fall from monsters and convert them into demonic energy. This skill is very efficient because it can double the speed of collecting demonic energy. Not long after, Kang Woo was eating together with Han. Han wants to know about Kang Woo. Han felt sorry for Kang Woo because he had no family and no place to live. Han also invited Kang Woo to live together. Kang Woo was very happy because he didn't have to worry about where to live and even had a beautiful woman with him. Kang Woo also gave some of the money to Han because he was very helped. Han also talked about the rumors circulating about player chaos. Chaos players are players who falsify their rank and attack other players. Kang Woo thought it was what he did to the Andras Guild, but Kang Woo had made it look like a lizardman attacking the player. The next day, Kang Woo started hunting again. With the power of sky skill, a wing appeared that made it easier to find monsters and hoped to meet the lizardman boss. But suddenly, there was the sound of fighting. Kang Woo rushed over and looked at the situation. And it was Tae-soo, the party leader, who used to want to recruit Kang Woo. And Kang Woo thought he was a good guy. Tae-soo and his party members were attacked by two quite capable people. Kang Woo thought it was the chaos player that was being talked about. Tae-soo is a second awakening player for the tank class. Because many of his members were injured, he alone endured the chaos player attacks. But it's only a matter of time before he collapses. Kang Woo's intention was just to monitor the situation. But seeing the chaos player using demonic energy, he immediately rushed to save Tae-soo. With one hard slap, The Chaos player immediately fell. Kang Woo tortured and interrogated how the Chaos player could use demonic energy. Because they were very stubborn and didn't want to answer, Kang Woo used the power of fear skill, which instilled a deep sense of fear. Finally, the Chaos player answered. They replied that they were part of the Andres Guild and their guildmaster who could control demonic energy. Their guildmaster performed a ritual, but before he could explain it, the Chaos player immediately killed. Kang Woo also checked that there was something implanted in their bodies. Tae-soo and his party thanked Kang Woo for saving him, but Tae-soo was surprised, because it wasn't long before they met Kang Woo at the gate of rank E. Tae-soo was impressed with Kang Woo's level growth and considered him a high-level player. Then, after clearing up the mess, Tae-soo wanted to report this incident to the Hwaring Squad. The Hwaring Squad is a squad player who works directly under the government, but Kang Woo told Tae-soo not to report this incident, because Kang Woo wanted to wipe out the Andres Guild alone. With ardent determination, Tae-soo wanted to help Kang Woo and wanted to be by his side. Kang Woo also remembered Balak. He was a loyal subordinate of Kang Woo while in hell. Tae-soo explained his abilities and skills. Kang Woo judged Tae-soo that he might have the potential to reach the third awakening. Kang Woo also thought that Han would get a second awakening. It would be great if Tae-soo formed a party with Han. Kang Woo agreed to Tae-soo to follow him. Tae-soo looked very happy and started calling Kang Woo big brother. Then there was still one more unconscious Chaos player. Kang Woo started to wake him up and started interrogating him. Kang Woo tortured him until he finally answered. The Andres Guild hunting for players must be alive to be sacrificed. Because of that, there are conditions for performing the ritual. Kang Woo also began to take advantage of the situation. He did not kill him, but made him do his bidding. Kang Woo got into a suitcase to pretend to be a player who was injured and had been caught. The Chaos player took Kang Woo away to the Andres Guild headquarters. When he arrived at the Andres Guild, there were several guards. With Kang Woo's perfect acting, easily passed the check. The guard believed that Kang Woo's body was injured and unconscious. The guard took Kang Woo's body to a room. There were many people wearing black robes and a sacrificial altar. There was one person leading among the gathered people. That was the guild master Andres. The guard moved Kang Woo's body to the sacrificial altar. Right above the altar, there is a crack that emits demonic energy. The guild master is obsessed with strength. He believes if he becomes a demon, he will be the strongest. The guildmaster started the ritual with Kang Woo's body lying on the altar. To start this ritual, you need a lot of magic stones. Suddenly, a large amount of demonic energy emerged from the crack. The process of this ritual is when the sacrificial victim absorbs the demonic energy and transfers it to the guildmaster. The more victims absorb demonic energy, the guildmaster also gains strength. But the guildmaster felt something was strange, because Kang Woo's body did not stop absorbing the demonic energy. Kang Woo woke up. He really enjoyed that very much demonic energy. Seeing Kang Woo absorbing all the demonic energy, the guildmaster was angry and attacked Kang Woo. Kang Woo easily avoided it. The guildmaster ordered all his followers to attack Kang Woo. The guildmaster was amazed that Kang Woo could use demonic energy. He immediately issued his flagship skill, namely fire magic, which he said came from hell. Kang Woo laughed and took out a real hellfire magic with a very large size. Seeing Kang Woo's enormous and powerful fire magic, the guildmaster suddenly prostrated. He assumed that Kang Woo was the reincarnation of the great demon Andres. The guildmaster and his retainers had been waiting for his appearance for a long time. They think that Andres's reincarnation is a king, a god, and one who can rule the world. Kang Woo's reaction was very funny when he saw them. Because Kang Woo wanted to join their game, he acted like the devil god Andres, who was gripping and showed some skills. The guildmaster and his followers came to regard Kang Woo as the demon king of hell, and they began to worship him. Kang Woo ordered all the guild followers to leave the room because Kang Woo wanted to discuss with him. The guildmaster's name is Cho Dio-kyun. Kang Woo knew that Cho Dio-kyun was pretending to think of Kang Woo as the great Andres. He was only frightened when he saw Kang Woo's strength. Cho Dio-kyun explained how they created cracks with the magic from the magic stone. He learned to make it after receiving a teaching. One day, a strong person wearing a demon mask approaches Cho Dio-kyun. That person said that Cha Dio-kyun could live forever if he followed the demonic religion. Cho Dio-kyun didn't know where the person was. Kang Woo was very upset. With power of fear, Kang Woo ordered Cho Dio-kyun. First, he has to investigate about the demonic religion and don't perform any rituals anymore. Then had to keep what happened between Kang Woo and Cho Dio-kyun a secret from other people. There was too much mess for Kang Woo to clean up. This wasn't the first or second time they had used players as life sacrifices. After Kang Woo cleaned up the mess at the Andras Guild, he returned to Han Seal's place. Kang Woo, who was annoyed earlier, immediately smiled happily when he met Han. Han was really worried about him because he had been inside the gate for a long time and hadn't even contacted her since then. Han Seol told Kang Woo that she had obtained the second awakening. She obtained a B rank and also gained a special ability called Blessing of Light. Many guilds wanted to recruit her, but Han chose to refuse. She wanted to join Kang Woo to help him, but Kang Woo refused it for now. Indeed, Han has a high-rank special ability, but according to Kang Woo, it still can't be a big help for him. Kang Woo was much stronger for those on the same level as him. If Kang Woo formed a party now, he wouldn't gain enough exp or get involved in a serious fight. Kang Woo suggested forming a party with an acquaintance of his, a ranked tanker, namely, Tae-soo. For now, Han had to level up and gain battle experience. She also agreed to form a party with Tae-soo. Since they have a high-rank special ability, they should be able to level up quickly. She was willing to wait until the time came. The next day, Kang Woo headed to the player service center. He wanted to bring his player card as a rank C player. Because starting from rank C, the identification of the magic stone that has been processed needs to be added to the player's card. After leaving the player service center, Kang Woo thought that he had not fully rested when he returned to Earth. With the lack of information, he still couldn't do anything against the demonic religion for now. He also took advantage of this opportunity to rest, but he didn't know where to go. Before being dragged down to hell, Kang Woo didn't have much money. He spent his time reading webtoons and novels. Kang Woo thought he shouldn't do it anymore. Everything must not be the same as 10,000 years ago, and must enjoy all that he can do. Finally, he found something interesting and entered an internet cafe. A very large monitor screen, comfortable chairs, and even being able to order food. Kang Woo was very impressed the first time he tried it. According to Kang Woo, when he lived in hell, 10,000 years equals 5 years of time on Earth. He also tried to order a meal and tried to play a game. He also tried games that are currently popular, the MOBA genre, tank class, support, and others, and have to form a party consisting of 5 different roles. Kang Woo also thinks this is the same as real life. Because Kang Woo is a beginner, he just plays around while enjoying his food, so that all the party members in the game are very annoyed with Kang Woo. Then Kang Woo was surprised. Behind him was a woman who shouted angrily while saying harsh language. Kang Woo looked back and they locked eyes. The woman looked at Kang Woo's monitor screen, saying that this was just a coincidence of bad luck. The woman immediately approached Kang Woo and started scolding him. He told Kang Woo that he was casually enjoying a meal in the middle of an ongoing match. The woman ordered Kang Woo out with harsh language. Kang Woo, who didn't know anything, thought that he was being bullied by her. The woman got even more irritated and started attacking Kang Woo. With some fast and sharp movements, he launched an attack, but Kang Woo easily dodged it and thought the woman was strong. The woman was surprised that Kang Woo could avoid her attacks and said, "Was Kang Woo sent by the Mir Guild?" The Mir Guild, it's one of the top 5 guilds in Korea. Kang Woo explained to the woman that he didn't enter any guild, but the woman still couldn't believe it. The woman also introduced herself as a member of the top 5 guild as well. Because he still didn't believe in Kang Woo, the woman asked Kang Woo to show his identity. The woman was surprised because Kang Woo had a license as a D rank player. Because he didn't want to get into any more trouble, Kang Woo left immediately. The woman thought that Kang Woo was a rank D player. She could easily beat him. The women recognized Kang Woo as a rank A player and had never heard of such a powerful person without a guild. Part of Kang Woo's strength was still sealed, and he realized that he was still weak now. However, the reflexes obtained from his previous fight in hell were still there. Kang Woo didn't expect to meet an opponent of the same level so quickly, and made his outlook different. He was also curious about the woman's identity. Then the woman also left the internet cafe and headed to a quiet place and called someone. The person who made the call called for that woman, Cha Yenju, Guildmaster Red Rose. Red Rose is also a top 5 guild in Korea, and Cha Yeonju is a high-level player. Cha Yenju ordered the head of HR, namely Park Hyunwoo, to investigate about Kang Woo. It just so happens that the Red Rose Guild is investigating demonic cult worshippers. Cha Yenju explained the possibility of Kang Woo hiding his identity and being very suspicious. Cha Yenju also said that she saw Kang Woo's identity card as a D-rank player. However, according to Park Hyunwoo, a D-rank player did not have a mana rating tool, which made his card easier to forge than a C-rank card. Park Hyunwoo regarded Kang Woo as a low-level player who partook of a demonic cult to kill players at his level. Cha Yeonju also denied that Kang Woo is a very strong player and possibly a high ranker, maybe even a demonic belief leader. Even though Cha Yeonju considered Kang Woo to be part of the demonic cult or not, he was still worried because Kang Woo could be stronger than her. Then Cha Yeonju returned to the internet cafe and saw Kang Woo's monitor. The data was written that Kang Woo was still a newbie and made Cha Yeonju even angrier. A few days later, Kang Woo wanted to enter the rank C gate to hunt and raise his level. C rank gate was the territory of the troll monsters. As usual, Kang Woo wanted to do solo hunting. However, when he was about to enter the gate, he was stopped by a guard. According to the guard, Kang Woo would be allowed in if he was a C rank player and was in a party of 5 people. Then the guard informed him that the chief troll had appeared inside the gate and solo hunting was prohibited as long as the boss monster appeared. A C rank gate definitely gave a different atmosphere compared to the gate below it. Kang Woo also saw that the players who were gathered had good equipment. The examination became even more stringent, and this was the biggest problem. Kang Woo thought if he wanted to monopolize his monsters alone, he had to enter the gate alone no matter what. Seeing that many players had gathered, Kang Woo wanted to take advantage of the situation and pull off a trick. He used the skill power of rage on the many players that had gathered. This skill can trigger emotions to overflow out. Many players suddenly got angry and started going wild. Chaos ensued. All the gate guards began to restrain the raging players. Kang Woo easily sneaked into the gate alone. After entering the gate, there was a vast expanse of desert that was completely different from the previous gate, which was a swampy environment. According to Kang Woo, it would be very difficult to find a boss monster. Seeing the status of his demonic energy, which was quite a lot, Kang Woo used a new skill. The Demon Astaroth is an observation skill. This skill has a wide enough range until Kang Woo finds the troll boss and his subordinates. Kang Woo immediately launched a powerful attack on the troll boss. The result was that the troll boss was immediately defeated with one strike. Because he defeated the boss monster troll alone, the XP got was increased 3 times. Kang Woo was surprised by his strength as it became stronger. He didn't expect that the boss monster troll was easily defeated with one strike. Boss monster trolls weren't weak, but Kang Woo was too strong. Based on the information obtained, it is the right mob boss for gate rank C. Because the strength that Kang Woo now has is very strong, he also has to be careful. Kang Woo continued to hunt the trolls. With his immense strength, he can now slash trolls in one strike with the authority of blade. The body that gets hit by the slash explodes with demonic energy. Kang Woo also leveled up. His status and strength increased, and got the new skill Earthblade rank A. Then Kang Woo started his new skills and experimented with using trolls. This skill generates demonic energy in the form of a large circle. Enemies standing in the circle will instantly be cut off by their bodies. Soon, the players who wanted to hunt boss trolls arrived. They were annoyed and confused because they had searched everywhere. They couldn't find the troll boss. There were only a few runaway trolls, as well as a trail, but no bodies. They also blamed the government for not being good at calculating the time the troll boss appeared. Kang Woo hid and started running away amidst the commotion. When Kang Woo and the players left the gate, suddenly an army came. They were the Hwaring squad, led by Unit 3 Squad Commander Baek Hwaeon. Baek Hwaeon informed the players that there were reports of Chaos players appearing at the Rank D gate, and had to check the gate Rank C. All players who have reached Awakening 3 must carry out an inspection and show their player card. Kang Woo had a bad feeling and hoped not to be found out. Because many eyes were watching, Kang Woo couldn't run away. It would be a problem if he did something that stood out in front of the military. Sure enough, suddenly Baek Hwaeon approached Kang Woo and immediately checked his player card. Fortunately, nothing happened. Kang Woo felt he was overthinking. However, Kang Woo still has to be careful because the Chaos player has already made a move. Kang Woo also tried to get information about the Chaos player from Baek Hwaeon because it might help her. Baek Hwaeon didn't need Kang Woo's help because this was a government matter and protecting players was her duty. Kang Woo immediately knew that the government was also pursuing the demonic cult. A few days later, Kang Woo went to a cafe with Tae-soo and Han. They met because they wanted to discuss the party. Kang Woo asked Tae-soo to take Han to a Rank D gate to hunt. Tae-soo also agreed because a healer was needed. Han explained his trait skill, Blessing of Light. Apart from healing, she can also use buffs that increase strength, heal, and dexterity. Han can also use attack skills. According to Tae-soo, a player who can heal and buff simultaneously and can take care of himself is a rare player. It's possible that a high-tier guild like the Hanul Guild would definitely immediately take Han over to their side, but Han still wouldn't join any guilds for now. For their party, Kang Woo also needs a damage dealer. Tae-soo told Kang Woo that he had found two amazing players. According to Tae-soo, those who have recently had a second awakening. Tae-soo said that they were very talented, to the extent that it made Tae-soo wonder why they hadn't joined the guild yet. After meeting with Han and Tae-soo, Kang Woo immediately went hunting to gate Rank C in the troll monster area. Kang Woo has reached level 29, and there is one more level left to get his fourth awakening. With his observation skill, Kang Woo easily found the trolls. However, when he was hunting, he suddenly smelled a strong smell of human blood. According to Kang Woo, it was true that the smell of blood in the hunting area was normal, but a smell this strong would definitely come from the massacre of 5 to 6 people. Kang Woo also found the party, and they were all dead. It's possible that Chaos did it, and the demonic cult wouldn't kill players because they needed it for sacrifices. Suddenly a huge monster appeared, and it was a monster from hell, Hellhound. Kang Woo was surprised. Why monsters from hell could be here? The Hellhound immediately attacked Kang Woo fiercely. Kang Woo also tried to block the attack. Kang Woo knew immediately that this was a real Hellhound just by feeling the hardness of its skin. Kang Woo tried to attack with the skill power of the Dark Spear, which could kill the troll boss in one hit, but it only scratched the Hellhound. The Hellhound became even more aggressive to attack Kang Woo. Then Kang Woo combined power of Earth and power of the Dark Spear, but the Hellhound still survived. Kang Woo knew the characteristics of the Hellhound when he was in Hell, and the monster was very persistent. With Kang Woo's current level, it would be quite difficult to beat him. After taking a lot of damage, the Hellhound finally lost. Then Kang Woo's status window appeared. In the written system, Kang Woo had defeated a Rank C Fragment Shard. He also got exp and rose to level 30. Kang Woo also obtained his fourth awakening, the trait Ruler of Demonic Energy Rank A. This skill can control demonic energy better and with better speed. And also, the user can completely hide the presence of demonic energy from other creatures. Kang Woo thought of the shard fragment part. He had heard of the core shard before, and referred to the hell beasts as the splinter. Kang Woo also thought, how could the Hellhound come here? According to Kang Woo, there's no way the Hellhound could use the 7 Princes of Hell weapon. Kang Woo said, thinking of something that doesn't have any pointers, it's just a waste of time. Then Kang Woo began to devour the Hellhound's corpse with the power of gluttony. According to Kang Woo, if he could recover back to his state like back in the Myriad Demon Palace, he might be able to become even stronger than his former self. With a happy face, Kang Woo left the gate, but Cha Yeonju was already waiting for him. This time, Cha Yeonju told Kang Woo her identity. Kang Woo was quite surprised that Cha Yeonju was the guild leader of Red Rose. Suddenly, Cha Yeonju said all the information about Kang Woo. Kang Woo was born in 1995, and is currently 28 years old. Kang Woo grew up in a Cheongsong orphanage without any history of adoption, then left the orphanage and disappeared for 5 years. However, this year, he suddenly registered as a player. Kang Woo was also annoyed that Cha Yeonju had investigated him, but everything she said was true. Cha Yeonju even went to the player service center to investigate. The test score showed that Kang Woo was a rank F player with an awakening of 1, but was already hunting at gate rank C. Cha Yeonju was even more suspicious that he was a criminal. However, after looking at the history of his fingerprints and face, they have the same history. Cha Yeonju confirmed that Kang Woo was not a player using a fake identity. Cha Yeonju recognized Kang Woo as a player with extraordinary talent that might surpass her, maybe even surpass Baek Kanjian, a top-tier Korean player. But the main reason Cha Yeonju came to see Kang Woo was that she herself directly wanted to sponsor Kang Woo with her power as the guildmaster of Red Rose. Kang Woo didn't expect it either. He thought that Cha Yeonju would ask him to join the Red Rose Guild. Cha Yeonju was still careful of Kang Woo, because he would not let someone who hid his identity join her guild directly. Cha Yeonju explained regarding this sponsorship. In short, it was a financial support that would allow Kang Woo to level up fast. The Red Rose Guild will give Kang Woo a temporary gate pass which will allow him to enter the rank gate without a level limit. Even if Kang Woo needs a party, Guild Red Rose will pair up with guild members according to Kang Woo's wishes. Not only that, if Kang Woo wanted to sell magic stones to the Red Rose Guild, Kang Woo would get tax-free. Then the Red Rose Guild will lend equipment of unique rank and above for deposit, and equipment of epic rank and below can be borrowed for free. As well as they will give a house and a car if Kang Woo wants. Kang Woo also felt they were too good and excessive. Cha Yeonju said that it was an investment for the future. However, Kang Woo had to do a task given by the Red Rose Guild when the time came. Cha Yeonju also did not provide details of the task to be given to Kang Woo because it was not the right time. Because it looks very attractive, Kang Woo also accepted the offer. This was not only an opportunity to make connections with the big guilds, but also a good chance for Kang Woo to gain a lot of support from the guilds. The reason Cha Yeonju had not given Kang Woo the task details was because she thought that Kang Woo would not be able to do everything at his current level. Kang Woo also said with a smile that he had become stronger than Cha Yeonju thought. Kang Woo immediately asked Cha Yeonju for his equipment, because Kang Woo thought he had to use equipment to conserve demonic energy. The two of them went to Guild House Red Rose, which was at Seoul Station. Kang Woo was surprised by the size of the building because it was almost the same as a player's service center. In front of the entrance of the Guild House, Kang Woo was greeted by two people. The first was the employee management team leader, Park Hyun-woo. He was the one who investigated information about Kang Woo. The second is a man with a fairly large body named Moon Yong-ho. He is also called Commander-in-Chief. They entered the storage room of the Red Rose Guild. Cha Yeonju would not lend Kang Woo the equipment he wanted, but he could borrow epic ranks down. In that room, there were a lot of very good equipment that made Kang Woo excited. Not only unique rank, even Cha Yeonjuan has a legendary rank. Kang Woo was surprised. If he wanted to borrow legendary rank equipment, he had to pay a deposit of 50 million won, which also included a big discount. Kang Woo can only sigh. The savings he has are not that much. Seeing Kang Woo talking to Cha Yeonju casually, Moon Yong-ho, the man who was called the Commander-in-Chief, was angry with Kang Woo. He told Kang Woo to speak more politely to Guildmaster Red Rose Cha Yeonju. With a grin, Kang Woo said no. Kang Woo made Moon Yong-ho angrier, and he started attacking Kang Woo. However, Cha Yeonju was easily stopped. Cha Yeonju scolded Moon Yong-ho not to do it again, and Cha Yeonju warned Kang Woo not to mess with Moon Yong-ho because he could become disabled. Casually, Kang Woo just smiled. From the start, Kang Woo didn't need a house or a car. All he wanted was to borrow unique rank equipment. Kang Woo kept asking Cha Yeonju. The equipment Kang Woo needs is a light armor that has good basic effects. Hearing that, Moon Yong-ho immediately asked for a duel with Kang Woo. Coincidentally, Moon Yong-ho was wearing a unique rank armor. If Kang Woo beat him in a duel, he would give him his armor. Kang Woo also accepted the good offer. Cha Yenju was worried about what would happen to the two of them. Moon Yongho's level was 67. He was called the Wall of Efforts to get his 6th awakening and became strong when he got his 7th awakening. The reason Moon Yongho respected and liked Cha Yenju was because in the past, Cha Yenju had saved his life from a monster attack. Seeing Kang Woo being disrespectful to Cha Yenju made him very angry. Then they headed to the Red Rose Guild's training room. The room had good facilities. They were getting ready for a duel. Moon Yongho will confidently give 3 seconds for Kang Woo to attack him as much as possible. Kang Woo also felt annoyed because he was so arrogant. Kang Woo used the power of speed and launched one quick and sharp attack. As a result, Moon Yongho was immediately thrown to the wall, and even Cha Yenju was very surprised by Kang Woo's speed. Moon Yongho immediately stood up and took out his sword while feeling pain. If not for the armor he was wearing, namely the gargoyle armor, the duel would have ended immediately. Moon Yongho couldn't believe that someone who had only been a player for 3 weeks could be that strong. While groaning in pain, Moon Yongho asked how Kang Woo had launched such a powerful attack. Kang Woo simply replied that he was stronger, and the foolish decision gave him 3 seconds to attack. Moon Yongho continued to be teased by Kang Woo until he got angrier. He took out his sword and used the skill blade of unreserved slaughter, but Kang Woo laughed at him. Do you have to shout the name of the skill when you want to attack? According to Kang Woo, still, he was a commander-in-chief of one of the big 5 guilds, and he wasn't weak. Moon Yonghan began to attack with considerable force. But Kang Woo uses the skill power of shadow. This skill can make Kang Woo go in and out of the shadow he summons. Kang Woo avoided Moon Yongho's attack, and in the blink of an eye he was behind him. With the power of shockwave, Kang Woo attacked Moon Yonghan until he was knocked against the wall till he fainted, and the fight was over. Cha Yenju apologized to Kang Woo for what happened today. She would expel Moon Yonghan from the guild and would warn the other guild members so something similar would not happen. But Kang Woo didn't care because he was overjoyed to have obtained armor rank unique. This gargoyle armor has a special effect. For 10 seconds, the user's physical defense is multiplied by 2 by the calculation effect, and the cooldown for calculation is 24 hours. Kang Woo thought of Moon Yonghan, that he had gone to that extent, and disobeyed his guildmaster's orders. Is this what is called being blinded by love? Kang Woo couldn't wear the armor now because it was too big, but Cha Yenju would change the size later. Because all the business there was finished, Kang Woo left the Red Rose Guild. Cha Yenju was still thinking, how could someone who just became a player 3 weeks ago beat Moon Yongho? According to Cha Yenju, there was a possibility that she had welcomed a world ranker from Korea. World rankers, they are the top 8 players in the world from all countries on Earth. Currently, there are no world rankers from Korea. There were rumors that Baek Kang-yoon, who was Korea's #1 ranker, could become a world ranker, but he didn't succeed. According to Cha Yenju, there is a possibility that Kang Woo will become a world ranker from Korea. A few days later, Kang Woo went to meet Tae-soo because he wanted to introduce 2 new party members. They are Kim Si-hoon and Choi Yoonbi. Kim Si-hoon is a level 12 warrior. He just reached his 2nd awakening and his special skills are rank A, whereas Choi Yoonbi is a mage with the B rank special skill. She has a lively personality. Kang Woo saw Si-hoon as a polite and very sensitive young man. He has also achieved 2nd awakening, which has rank A skills, as well as his handsome face. According to Kang Woo, he is like the main character in the manhwa. Kang Woo didn't feel any ill will towards the 2 of them either. Kang Woo saw that this party was quite good. Has tankers, long and close range damage dealers and healers who can give heal and buff at the same time. This was indeed the best member of a party of 4 people. Not only that, this party has 2 people with 2nd awakening and special skill rank A, and the other members have special skill rank B. According to Kang Woo, this was not just a normal hunting party, but also a hard carry party. According to Kang Woo, because the party was good, he would accompany them for today's hunt. They entered the gate of the goblin territory, and Kang Woo would only watch over them. The party hunted goblin horns. With enough effort they beat them all. But according to Kang Woo, this party has many points that must be improved. Firstly, Taesu. He has pretty sharp eyes and knows how to attract monsters' attention as a tanker, and the problem is because he is too focused on hitting them with his strength. Because it uses a lot of unnecessary stamina, creates weaknesses that a tanker shouldn't have. If that happens, what if a boss monster appears? Then Han, she gave a buff to Taesu and thought keeping the tanker's vitality was a good decision. But trying to overcome the enemy with arrows of light is not a good decision. Healers have become the enemy's main target, and again, by attacking, it will make it even more difficult for tankers to attract the enemy's attention. Next, Yunbi. She should lower her power level, and electric magic can immobilize enemies with weak attacks and shouldn't use strong skills at first. The main attacker is Sai-hoon and Yunbi only as an assistant. All party members have points that must be repaired except for Sai-hoon. Kang Woo impressed Sai-hoon. He was a genius, but like an uncut diamond. They also continued the hunt and had to do the advice that Kang Woo had given. They carried out the hunt efficiently and had good cooperation. Kang Woo was also impressed. If it continues like this, they might be able to advance to gate rank C within a month. While they were resting, suddenly a monster ran towards Taesu. Kang Woo was surprised because it was a demon wolf. Due to fast reflexes, Sai-hoon saves Taesu with his skills dealing a damage, but he is sent flying. Kang Woo quickly used the skill power of 1000 and killed the monster with one punch. They were all impressed by Kang Woo's strength. Kang Woo admits that Sai-hoon is a genius. He was strong enough to take on demonic beasts as opponents. Even if he was a player who had the rank skill for his second awakening, he was strong. Kang Woo helped Sai-hoon to help him up, but Kang Woo's goal was to use the skill power of observation on him. Kang Woo just tried to see if there was a power he was hiding, but Kang Woo could also see his stats window. Kang Woo was very surprised. Sai-hoon's stats were a descendant of the SSS rank martial god, a hero who was destined to become the protector of the world. Kang Woo thought, like he was the main character, martial god, because his swordsmanship is extraordinary. Kang Woo thought that Sai-hoon might become a dangerous threat to him in the future, but Kang Woo wouldn't let a diamond like this get away with it. It would be good to build a friendly relationship with him by providing as much help as Cha Yenju did to him. But he might point his sword at Kang Woo one day, because seeing his nature to make his body hurt to save Taesu, Kang Woo thought that Sai-hoon was not that kind of person. Due to Sai-hoon's submissive nature, Kang Woo had the intention of making Sai-hoon his slave. Taesu wonders why a strong person like Sai-hoon hasn't joined the guild yet. Sai-hoon replied that right now he doesn't want to enter any guild, especially one of the top 5 guilds, the Mir Guild. Sai-hoon didn't want to talk about what happened to him with the Mir Guild. After everything was done, they left the gate. Han really wanted to eat with Kang Woo, but Kang Woo suddenly had to leave because he had some business. When Sai-hoon was about to leave, Kang Woo took him to a quiet alley. Sai-hoon wondered why Kang Woo took him to a place like this. Suddenly Kang Woo made a punch to his heart. Kang Woo infused his demonic energy into Sai-hoon's heart. Sai-hoon was in so much pain that he passed out. But Kang Woo said that Sai-hoon would forget what happened this time. When Sai-hoon opens his eyes later, he will live his life as usual. According to Kang Woo too, he could use his power when the Sai-hoon became Kang Woo's familiar spirit. When Sai-hoon woke up, he didn't know what happened to him and passed out. He thought he had fainted from being hit by the demon wolf earlier. With anger, he had to get even stronger, and Sai-hoon named Vice Guild Masters Mir and Kim Young-hun. The reason he wanted to get stronger was because he wanted his sword to sink into the neck of the bastard from the Mir Guild. Kang Woo had no intention of using his authority over Sai-hoon as his own. Kang Woo wanted to make him a subordinate purely for bail. According to Kang Woo, after Sai-hoon gets stronger, maybe his strength will be on par with Balak. Balak is a loyal subordinate of Kang Woo in 9 Hells. Sai-hoon's existence is very important to Kang Woo. Besides, Kang Woo's power is still sealed. He also has to face the demonic cult. Because of that, Kang Woo will help Sai-hoon become strong. Then guild leader Andras contacted Kang Woo because he had information about the traces of demonic energy at the B rank gate. He explained that it seemed to be the work of a monster and not a human. Kang Woo thought it was a monster from hell. After arriving at the B rank gate, many parties had gathered, and they were angry that they were not allowed to enter. According to the gatekeeper, an unrecognized mutation monster has appeared and has killed 10 people. The gate guard also told that the monster resembled a lion. Kang Woo immediately knew that the monster was Demon Boer. According to Kang Woo, Boer is one of the strongest predators from the second hell. This demon resembles a lion, has 5 legs, and has a special trait, unlike other demons. A special trait known as full stomach. Regardless of its size, as long as this monster consumes 5 prey in one day, it will have a full stomach and will not attack first. According to Kang Woo, it would be easy if he gave him 5 monsters first, then attacked him in satiated condition. Kang Woo immediately contacted Cha Yenju to ask for access to the gate that was being guarded. Because Cha Yenju knew government officials, Kang Woo could indeed enter the gate, but it would cost a lot. After the gatekeeper spoke to Cha Yenju over the phone, Kang Woo was allowed to enter the gate. Hearing Kang Woo talk to Cha Yenju from Red Rose Guild, the gatekeeper was curious about Kang Woo's identity. Even the reporters who were there started recording and photographing Kang Woo. They said this would be big news. The parties that had gathered there started paying attention to Kang Woo. As they remembered, there was not a man like him from the Red Rose Guild. Apart from Kang Woo, there was also one party that was allowed to enter the gate. He was Kang Sung-soo, a rookie who was quite popular from the Mir Guild. Kang Sung-soo and his party members mocked Kang Woo because he was confident about entering the gate alone, especially after his 4th awakening. They told Kang Woo to join their party to carry their stuff. Kang Woo answered them with a smile and was willing to join in. But Kang Woo's initial intention of joining them was to sacrifice them to the Boer monsters. Coincidentally, their party consisted of 6 people. Kang Woo grinned. This would be an easy opportunity to feed Monster Boer. The Mir Guild knows that there is someone sponsored by the Red Rose Guild. Guild Mir ordered Kang Sung-soo to humiliate Kang Woo and Guild Red Rose. Together, they thought that Guild Mir was higher than Guild Red Rose. They started to enter the gate, and Kang Woo asked Kang Sung-soo and his party members to cooperate. Kang Sung-soo thought of Kang Woo that he had no pride and was just a fool. Kang Sung-soo thought that Kang Woo was a special person because the Red Rose Guild sponsored him, but it turned out to be just a loser. Kang Sung-soo and his party members also started to speak ill of Cha Yenju, and the Red Rose Guild was a collection of scum compared to the Vice Guild Master Mir, Kim Young-hoon. Mir's guildmaster is Kim Jae-hyun, conglomerate owner of the electronic company Mir. He became a player with his son Kim Young-hoon 5 years ago in the gate incident. With funds flowing from Mir Electronics, he leveled up quickly as a ranker, then founded the Mir Guild. After searching for a long time, Kang Sung-soo and his party members were annoyed that they had not found the monster yet. They were also more annoyed to see Kang Woo, who just smiled like a fool. Unbeknownst to them, Kang Woo used the observation skill and already knew the location of the monsters. Then Kang Woo used the power of temptation. The skill can emit a very good smell to increase appetite. Kang Sung-soo and his party members were astonished, because suddenly there was a very good smell in the middle of the labyrinth. According to Kang Woo, the monster should be able to smell it from a distance. Sure enough, suddenly, the monster came and killed one member of Kang Sung-soo's party. Kang Sung-soo ordered Kang Woo to be cornered because he thought that Kang Woo would be useless and would only get in his way. Kang Sung-soo and his party members formed a formation and attacked the monster Boer with all their might, but it was useless. One by one, his party members started to get killed and became food for the monster Boer. Kang Sung-soo was also hit by the monster's attack and received a fatal injury, but was still conscious. After Monster Boer ate 5 members of Kang Sung-soo's party, the monster immediately had a full stomach. Kang Woo began to move and use his skill. Kang Woo combines 2 skills, namely Power of Dark Spear and Hell of Fire. Kang Woo also had to concentrate because he had to use 2 powers simultaneously. At the same time, Kang Woo's stat window popped up and he got the S rank Biden skill. This skill will allow Kang Woo to have better control over the skills he has acquired. Kang Woo threw the powerful attack at the monster Boer's head, and the monster died in 1 hit. Due to defeating rank B fragments, Kang Woo rose 6 levels and has reached level 40, and his 5th awakening has been unlocked. Kang Woo's stats window tells him that his demonic energy stats have reached 60, and fulfill one condition: extreme demonic delay. According to Kang Woo, there was no useful information regarding extreme demonic delay, and had a hunch that this would give him immense strength. He was the first to hear about it, even though he had been in hell for 10,000 years. Kang Woo believed that if he raised his stats as a player, he could surpass the demonic king to become a demonic god. Kang Woo used the gluttony skill on the monster's corpse, and its demonic energy increased. Kang Sung-soo saw everything that Kang Woo was doing and asked, "Really? Who was Kang Woo?" Seeing Kang Woo heading towards him, Kang Sung-soo was frightened. Kang Woo tortured him and asked who told him to provoke. After suffering enough, Kang Sung-soo replied that it was Mir's guild representative, Kim Young-hoon. The reason was Kim Young-hoon asked Cha Yenju out before, but he was flatly rejected. Kang Woo was surprised. With that ridiculous reason, he had a grudge against the Red Rose Guild. Kang Sung-soo also showed a photo of Kim Young-hoon, and according to Kang Woo, he looked like someone. Kang Woo didn't kill Kang Sung-soo, but told him to do something. Then the two of them came out of the gate, and many reporters asked questions. Why only the two of them? And what happened to the other members? And what about the mutated monsters? With perfect acting, Kang Woo told that the other party members died because the monster was too strong. And a hero who saved his life as well as killed the mutation monster was Mir Guild's Kang Sung-soo. Kang Woo told reporters while crying that Kang Sung-soo fought as monsters alone. As a result, Kang Sung-soo became the headline that is being talked about a lot. Cha Yenju, who saw Kang Sung-soo's news, made headlines. She saw that his slumped face was not caused by a monster at all, but instead looked like a human's. She thought about what Kang Woo did while inside the gate. Cha Yenju was having a discussion about the mutant monster with Guildmaster Sanari, Jang Hyunju, and she asked where Cha Yenju got Kang Woo from. According to Jang Hyunju, the mutant monsters were probably the work of the demonic cult. It was only a matter of time. People who weren't from the 5 great guilds found out about them. If the truth that a cult uses humans as sacrifices for its rituals is not known, it is likely that the world will descend into chaos. Then Kang Woo met Cha Yenju to ask for a gate pass rank S, and Cha Yenju advised Kang Woo not to hunt there. Cha Yenju told Kang Woo that the demonic cult's activities had increased recently. Cha Yenju didn't know how big their cult was. That's why the Red Rose Guild cooperated with the government to hunt them down. Only the Red Rose Guild helped out of the 5 major guilds. The reason was because many of Red Rose's guild members had been sacrificed while investigating the demonic cult. With a huge killing intent, Cha Yenju said she wanted to punish them herself. Cha Yenju asked Kang Woo to participate in investigating the demonic cult. According to Kang Woo, this is a jackpot. Kang Woo can get demonic energy anytime if he follows their plan. After Kang Woo got his 5th awakening, he got a new trait skill, Master of Demonic Monster. This skill can summon demonic monsters from other dimensions. The stronger the summoned demonic monster, the more demonic energy is needed. Because it is limited to once every 3 months, Kang Woo must summon the most powerful demonic monsters he can summon. If Kang Woo's theory is correct, the gate has a role as a bridge that connects the earth with other dimensions. The higher the rank gate, the stronger the monsters that will come. That's what the demonic monsters from hell call the dimensional gap. According to Kang Woo, the same logic should apply to the summon skill, and the strength of the demonic monsters that can be summoned should be similar to the gate rank. Kang Woo went to gate rank S under the supervision of Hwaring squad players. With a pass gate rank S from Cha Yenju, Kang Woo was allowed to enter easily. Then Kang Woo began to enter the gate, and the territory was the sea with a beautiful view. According to Kang Woo, if it wasn't for S-rank monsters appearing, this would be a good place to relax. Kang Woo also looked around the place and found a suitable place to summon his demonic monster. Kang Woo hopes that the monster he summons is Cerberus. If it's just a physical problem, Cerberus is stronger than the 3rd hell demon. Kang Woo started the summoning with concentration until a crack appeared. Kang Woo's stats window told him that he had succeeded in making the crack needed to summon. A large crack was formed due to the influence of the demonic energy within the core. 10,000 Demand rank SSS. This was the first time Kang Woo saw a green gate, because most of the gates were bluish. The stats window tells Kang Woo that the connection with the outer world cannot be blocked due to the loss of the Gaia system function. The dimensional gate is connected because the continent of Erner is open. Kang Woo was confused because this was the first time he had heard of the continent of Erner. The summoning demonic monster was successful, and a large dragon appeared who was injured. The system announced that the dragon was the child of the demon dragon Kargas. An S-rank Echidna hatching dragon had registered as a Kang Woo summon monster. Not only dragons, there were several people who were summoned. They spoke a language that Kang Woo could not understand. From the moment the gate was opened, Kang Woo already knew that his clothes weren't what Korean people used to wear, and they really looked like characters that came out of a fantasy world. First of all, Kang Woo had to find out what they were saying. Kang Woo used the power of communication skill. Skill can make Kang Woo communicate with people who have a different language from him. The one who led them was Reynold von Arnon, the third prince of the Arnon kingdom. Kang Woo also didn't know about Arnon's kingdom, and after Kang Woo noticed again, there was an elf and a dwarf. Because Kang Woo didn't know what was going on, he couldn't let the demon he had just summoned just die. Since Kang Woo didn't know what was going on, he wasn't going to let the demon he had just summoned just die. Kang Woo ignored the people present and started using the skill power of resurrection. Instantly, the dragon came to its senses and spoke directly to Kang Woo's head, akin to telepathy. The dragon thanked him and immediately realized that Kang Woo was the master. At the same time, Reynold and company pointed their swords at Kang Woo. According to Reynold, Echidna is an evil demon dragon. The dragon causes drought and plague. Because of the dragon's magic, many people in his kingdom lost their lives. But Echidna told Kang Woo that it wasn't her doing. Kang Woo explained to Reynold, if she had the power to cause phenomena like droughts and plagues, her existence would definitely be close to that of a god. No one would be able to defeat her, and there was no way she would be injured like this. Reynold and his members were blinded by anger and ignored Kang Woo's words. They insisted on killing the dragon. Kang Woo hated people who only cared about their own justice, and closed their eyes and ears to those who were against them. Kang Woo angrily said, even if it was true that Echidna had caused the drought and plague phenomenon in his kingdom, Kang Woo didn't care because Echidna had become his familiar now. Kang Woo had no intention of giving up his newly summoned familiar. Reynold and his members considered Kang Woo a vile demonic for being the master of the dragon. Kang Woo simply answered that he was a real demonic. Reynold quickly attacked Kang Woo with quite a powerful attack. According to Kang Woo, his strength is quite strong. Since Kang Woo was already wearing unique rank equipment, he wasn't too worried. Reynold and his party members cooperated well enough to attack Kang Woo. Kang Woo was still able to easily dodge their attacks. He also admitted that Reynold was strong. If Kang Woo had not gotten his fifth awakening, he would be in trouble. But all is well. With a little trick, Kang Woo injures Reynold. Reynold also told his party members that Kang Woo was too strong and had to run away. For Kang Woo, every fight has no empathy, no mercy, no grudges, just fighting and killing each other. For the sake of surviving in hell, emotions are a luxury. When Kang Woo was about to kill Reynold, one member of his party begged for mercy. Better kill her and not Reynold. According to her, Reynold is a hero and hope for the Arnon kingdom. But Kang Woo replied, what does it have to do with him? And he doesn't care. According to Kang Woo, if they all started all this, if they take up arms to kill, they must also be prepared to die. With a disgusting look, Kang Woo said, don't be a drama queen. When Kang Woo was about to kill them, a statistics window suddenly popped up and told Kang Woo that it was confirmed that a creature other than a familiar had passed through the gate and was interfering. The Gaia system will get rid of the creature. Sure enough, suddenly Reynold and his party members disappeared. But what Kang Woo was thinking was not being able to take Reynold's equipment, which was pretty good. Kang Woo was also worried that the Echidna would disappear too. Kang Woo thought, what exactly is the Gaia system? Is it like a barrier that aims to block foreign creatures? Kang Woo felt that the Gaia system was not working properly. Is it something to do with the demons that appeared recently from the last 3 weeks? Kang Woo thought that he was the cause, because it was the same time he came to Earth. Kang Woo started healing Echidna until she completely recovered. Due to its enormous size, Kang Woo asked her to shrink her body. Kang Woo also asked for information about the Eleanor continent. According to Echidna, it was a completely different world centered on the Arnan Empire. They wielded swords and magic, and it was a world that had elves, monsters, and dragons. According to Kang Woo, everything would make more sense if all the monsters, aside from the demons, came from the continent of Eleanor. Because all the business was done, Kang Woo took Echidna to return to where Kang Woo lived. Echidna regarded the Kang Woo residence as a nest, and she was very happy because she had not visited someone else's nest in a long time. Echidna also told that she used to live with her father, but one day, her father disappeared and Echidna was alone for quite a long time. Since then, Echidna was just reading a book in the nest alone. Then suddenly, someone came to her, and it was Renaud. Echidna told Kang Woo that he didn't do anything. She did not cause drought and plague. Echidna kept telling them that she was innocent, but no one believed her. Kang Woo really understands her condition, because Kang Woo used to experience it. Kang Woo's first memory is that he used to live in an orphanage. What Kang Woo wanted was to meet his parents, but Kang Woo didn't care who his parents were as long as they could cherish, love, and acknowledge their existence. Kang Woo said to Echidna even if the whole world blamed her, but Kang Woo would believe it. After they arrived, Han was so happy that there was such a cute creature. When she saw Echidna, Kang Woo also asked how the hunt was with the other members. Han told, if they leveled quickly, they would soon reach Third Awakening and have access to a rank C gate. Han said that it was all thanks to Kang Woo. He introduced her to a great party member and taught Han. If it wasn't for Kang Woo, none of this would have happened, and Han was very grateful to Kang Woo. Kang Woo felt that the first time he felt this feeling, the feeling of being loved, wasn't so bad. The next day, when Kang Woo woke up, somehow, he felt very tired today. Then when he was about to have breakfast, he was surprised by the Echidna's appearance. Kang Woo also asked if he could change his appearance as she pleased. According to Echidna, she first felt this strange feeling when she was sleeping, and when she woke up, her appearance had changed. According to Kang Woo, it must have something to do with the tiredness experienced by Kang Woo, and hoped that the Echidna could change its appearance back to that of a dragon. When Echidna wanted to change her appearance, a tremendous power appeared that almost made Han's house collapse. Kang Woo told Echidna to change later when she was outside the room. For a while, Kang Woo would not order Echidna to change her appearance, and she was also natural enough to use human language. Han told Kang Woo that she was going to go shopping for clothes for Echidna because there were no clothes that were too small. But Kang Woo couldn't go with them because there was somewhere he wanted to go. Kang Woo went to Red Rose Guild to meet Cha Yenju. Kang Woo told everything that happened inside the gate, as well as the people from the continent of Eleanor and the familiars he summoned. Because of that, Kang Woo asked Cha Yenju to make an ID card for Echidna. Cha Yenju was very impressed that Kang Woo was able to make a dragon his familiar. At the same time, Bi Huiyan also came because she wanted to meet Cha Yenju. The Huaring army and the Red Rose Guild teamed up as they were pursuing the same enemy, the demonic cult. Besides making an ID card for Echidna, Kang Woo also asked for an S rank entrance pass. Cha Yenju warned Kang Woo not to hunt at gate rank S because there are lots of dangerous monsters, but Kang Woo said that he would bring his familiars. With worry, Cha Yenju allowed Kang Woo to enter the S rank gate, but with one condition: don't go near the lake because there is a very strong monster, El Cuero. Hearing this, Bi Huiyan was surprised because Cha Yenju allowed Kang Woo to enter gate rank S, because 3 weeks ago he was just a rookie hunting at gate rank C. According to Bi Huiyan, even national level rankers would try to avoid S rank gates. Bi Huiyan was suspicious that Kang Woo was hiding his identity, but Cha Yenju told her not to worry because Kang Woo could be trusted and was very strong. Then, Kang Woo went to pick up Echidna, and they went to Suwon's S rank gate. Kang Woo warned Echidna not to go near the lake and not to change into dragon form because it would attract the monster's attention. Kang Woo used power observation and quickly found the giant ogre monster. Kang Woo immediately used the power of 1,000 to attack him. Just as Kang Woo expected, if the monster in the S rank gate was strong. Echidna also helps Kang Woo with her Dadark Storm skill, which can stun enemies. Kang Woo immediately attacked the giant ogre with the power of thunder and lightning, and managed to defeat it with one powerful strike. The experience gained from killing the giant ogre was quite a lot, so that Kang Woo went up one level. Kang Woo was also impressed with Echidna, because even though she wasn't in her true form, she was already that strong. At the S rank gate, there are not only giant ogre monsters, but many other powerful monsters. Suddenly, group of wyverns appeared, which frightened Echidna. Because there were so many of them, Kang Woo thought about retreating first. Kang Woo used the power of sky to escape, but the wyverns were fast enough to catch up to Kang Woo until Echidna was hit by an attack that tore her clothes apart. Echidna thought that the clothes were precious because they were praised by Kang Woo, and no one was allowed to damage them. Enraged, Echidna transformed into her true form and killed all the S-rank wyverns present. Kang Woo didn't think that she was that strong. He thought maybe the Echidna was stronger than him. Because she used her strength too much, Echidna fainted, and after she woke up, Kang Woo told her not to change without his permission. According to Kang Woo, Echidna can transform and become stronger when it changes to its original form because Echidna received Kang Woo's demonic energy after becoming his familiar. Echidna was able to wield even stronger powers by using Kang Woo's demonic energy. If Kang Woo's demonic energy increased, the amount of demonic energy he could use might also increase, but that would make the burden on his body even greater. At the same time, two giant ogre appeared. When Kang Woo was about to attack them, the two giant ogre were killed by two rankers. Kang Woo knew their identities: Onuri Rogue Specialist Guildmaster, Chai Minyek, and Korea's first-rank Guildmaster, Hunal Beek Kangyun. The two of them were doing a joint hunt at the S-rank gate. To think that Kang Woo would meet two guild masters at the same time, and wish himself to go unnoticed. Beek Kangyun regarded Kang Woo as a newbie who entered after the level ban was removed. Beek Kangyun insisted on helping Kang Woo because he looked exhausted, especially while carrying a small child. Kang Woo also refused and rushed to leave the gate so as not to be suspected by them. When they were about to leave the gate, suddenly Echidna smelled blood from an alley. They found a player who was very injured. The man gave a memory card to Kang Woo. The man's memory was Beek Hwaeon's subordinate from Hwaring Squad. The man had a disguise and could infiltrate the demonic cult. Based on what he saw, the demonic cult was crazier than he thought. He managed to record, which contained shocking information. When he was about to transmit the information, he was discovered by the enemy. With a wounded body, he fled and could not die. However, he had to give the video clip to Captain Beek Hwaeon. The memory card is now in Kang Woo's hands, and Kang Woo tries to talk to him, but the man is already dead. Kang Woo didn't know what was going on and what the memory card meant. Kang Woo used the power of observation skill on the player's corpse, and he had reached the 6th awakening. According to Kang Woo, only players who were level 60 and above with the 7th awakening were allowed to enter the S rank gate, definitely not from the gate. The only evidence was the memory card in Kang Woo's hands. Out of curiosity, Kang Woo inserted the memory card into his cell phone. After searching for the file, there is only one video with the name XMP4 on the memory card. Kang Woo immediately played the video, and it turned out to be a porn video. Kang Woo wondered why the man tried so hard to provide a porn video. It's possible that if something was missed, Kang Woo played the video again while enjoying it a little. Suddenly, a group of people wearing demon robes and masks appeared. Their leader said, since Kang Woo had watched the video on the memory card, he wasn't going to let him live. Kang Woo thought, is watching porn videos a big sin? Kang Woo, who did not know the situation, he would not hand over the video. Kang Woo thought that he would protect the porn video because it was the first porn video he had watched in 10,000 years. The crowd started attacking Kang Woo. Kang Woo used power of speed and iron wall skills, but they could survive. After another look, they were using demonic energy. Kang Woo immediately knew that they were from the demonic cult. According to Kang Woo, there was no point in torturing them because demonic energy had the power of regeneration. Kang Woo began to attack them continuously. Kang Woo used the Terra of Blade skill. Instantly, they were killed. Kang Woo continued watching the porn video. According to Kang Woo, this is just an ordinary porn video. Then why is the demonic cult targeting this video? Suddenly, Cha Yenju and Bi Huiyan came because they felt the signal of the memory card. They were surprised because they met Kang Woo and he had the memory card. According to Cha Yenju, the memory is very precious to her, and she must immediately see the contents of the video. Bi Huiyan felt sad from seeing her dead subordinates. Kang Woo also explained everything, starting from his subordinates who gave him memory cards and the demonic cultists who attacked him. After Cha Yenju saw the video, she was very embarrassed and angry at Kang Woo because she thought he had changed the video. Bi Huiyan also saw the video, but she calmly replied that the video was fake. According to Bi Huiyan, she had to check the original contents using a video decryptor at headquarters. Cha Yenju was also still angry because they used a porn video as a cover, and Kang Woo kept taunting her. They went to the Hwaring police headquarters. All soldiers are sad because their comrades died while on duty. According to Bi Huiyan, if the general was here, he might be able to save him. General Chang Hyunji was Bi Huiyan's superior and the highest authority in the main Hwaring army. He was so strong that no one in this country other than Baek Kangyun could face him. Currently, he was on his way overseas to investigate the S's rank gate in Japan. Time passed, and they were able to decode the video too. The video is about the demonic cult. In the video, a demonic cult leader called Cardinal was seen. They talked about the preparations for the summoning being completed with 3 weeks remaining. They also get sponsorship from big guilds. Most of the bids are above B rank. Seeing the video, Kang Woo deduced that there was someone with higher authority than the one called Cardinal. They were also preparing to summon something on Earth. And lastly, there was a large guild sponsoring them. Kang Woo suggested to Cha Yenju and Baek Huiyan to investigate the major guilds. According to Kang Woo, first must provide a bait. They target players who are low-ranked, but have high-level special abilities. Because they are demonic orders, they can't suppress their hunger for power. Cha Yenju and Baek Huiyan agreed to Kang Woo's way, but they wouldn't use their guild members for bait. With a grin, Kang Woo said that he had someone he knew to act as the perfect bait. A week had passed. Kang Woo went to Sai-hoon's place to watch over him. Kang Woo felt sad because Sai-hoon always took care of his sick mother alone. Kang Woo's plan to make Sai-hoon become the bait was to make him more popular. The person who manipulated the internet was none other than Park Hyun-woo from the Red Rose Guild. As a result, rumors spread much faster than expected. Then, Sai-hoon went to gate rank C with Han and the others. Kang Woo still followed them in disguise. They began to enter the gate and started hunting. They all hunt monsters well with good teamwork. Moreover, Sai-hoon as the main attacker made everything easier. They all praised Sai-hoon. At the same time, Kang Woo just watched from a distance. According to Kang Woo, their moves were more precise, and their playing was flawless. They can also recognize their individual role and move accordingly. Since Han could buff, she could still help out in situations where healing wasn't needed. Kang Woo thought for now there was no need to help them, and all he was waiting for was the demonic cult took the bait. Then Kang Woo tried to find them using the observation skill, and found 2 players with a high enough level to be able to cut down a troll in 1 hit. But something was strange. They didn't take their magic stones and ran towards Sai-hoon. Kang Woo was happy. Finally, they took the bait. The 2 players quickly found Sai-hoon and his party. He was Kim Young-hoon, Vice Guild Master Mir, and his bodyguard. Kim Young-hoon is the son of Guild Master Mir, Kim Jae-hyun, and the owner of Mir Electronics. They, father and son, were born with the most shining silver spoon in all of South Korea. As a player, Kim Young-hoon's talent was quite average, unlike his father who was one of Korea's top rankers. But by using his father's wealth and power, he surpassed others. Sai-hoon told Kim Young-hoon to leave because it would interfere with his hunting. Kim Young-hoon said to Sai-hoon that he should call him brother and don't be rude. He also said that Sai-hoon has cheap blood running through his veins. Hearing that, Sai-hoon was very angry. According to Kim Young-hoon, he heard rumors that Sai-hoon had a large special ability, and he should be in S rank. Kim Young-hoon said that he needs an offering like you. Hearing that, Sai-hoon and his party members immediately became alert, and regarded Kim Young-hoon as a chaos player. Sai-hoon quickly attacked him, but Kim Young-hoon easily brushed it off. According to Si-hoon, even though the level of the two of them was different, how could he reply at such a close distance? Si-hoon tried to attack him again, and Kim Young-hoon intercepted him again, and even counterattacked until Si-hoon was sent flying. Si-hoon realized that his sword technique was not performed by Kim Young-hoon himself. It was the sword he held that moved him. Kim Young-hoon has a special equipment absolute defense system. It was a special system that was actualized with all the skills and resources of mere electronic. This system relies on sensors that detect the opponent's movement and move the user's body automatically to defend himself. Kim Young-hoon tried to attack Si-hoon, but Tae-soo used his shield to block his attack. Han healed Si-hoon, who was injured, and gave him a buff. Furious, Si-hoon used the powerful skill Advent of the Wind Dragon to launch an attack, but Kim Young-hoon still managed to endure it. The absolute defense system can also create a barrier when its user is in danger. Si-hoon is the son of a concubine. The reason Kim Young-hoon hates Si-hoon is because he is jealous of Si-hoon, starting from lessons, sports, and abilities as a player. But according to Kim Young-hoon, it didn't matter, as long as he had enough power and money to take advantage of other people. Kim Young-hoon used the same skill as Si-hoon to launch an attack. Si-hoon was shocked, and he couldn't hold back the attack. The result was that Si-hoon was injured quite badly. Si-hoon only wants revenge on the people who left him and his mother. Si-hoon thought he also barely able to protect the people who are precious to him. He hated him because he was too weak. At the same time, when Kang Woo was watching, he was surprised that Si-hoon was the son of a concubine, seeing that their faces were also almost like brothers. Seeing Si-hoon, who was injured, Kang Woo gave a bit of his demonic energy to Si-hoon. Si-hoon suddenly felt strength overflowing from within him. At the same time, the stats window informed that Kang Woo that Si-hoon had received the heavenly god's power. Kang Woo thought, is he really resurrected? According to Kang Woo, he should be the only one suitable to be the main character. With great strength, Si-hoon attacked Kim Young-hoon continuously and injured him. Kim Young-hoon couldn't believe it. His strength and speed surpassed him. Kim Young-hoon felt danger and had to keep his distance. But Si-hoon didn't stop attacking until the barrier could be penetrated. But Si-hoon's attacks were immediately blocked by his guards. The guard was strong enough to counter Si-hoon. The guard said to Si-hoon that he won't be able to surpass the deputy guildmaster. If Si-hoon was willing to follow him, it would only end with the loss of an arm. Si-hoon lay weak and had no strength. The other party members were the same. They couldn't do anything. With tears, Si-hoon only thought of his mother and thanked her for loving and giving birth to him. When the guard was about to launch his attack on Si-hoon, Kang Woo casually resisted his attack, even to the point of cracking the guard's weapon. Kang Woo hit him until he was thrown. Si-hoon and the rest of the party were surprised by Kang Woo's appearance. The guard immediately attacked Kang Woo, but he easily held him back. The guard was curious about Kang Woo's identity, because he had never met someone as strong as Kang Woo before. Kim Young-hoon knew that Kang Woo was strong, so he ordered the guard to use his demonic energy even if it cost his life. The guard suddenly changed into a demon form that was quite large. With confidence, Kim Young-hoon ordered the guard to kill Kang Woo, but Kang Woo used the Iron Wall skill, plus the power of 1,000. He beat the guard with just one hit. Kim Young-hoon, who saw the guard was defeated in one hit, he was shocked and felt scared. He also thought, how can Kang Woo defeat his guard who can use demonic energy? Kim Young-hoon was running scared and had to immediately contact his father using the communication ball. The communication ball is an item that allows communication within gates where there is no reception. But with an instant, Kang Woo managed to catch Kim Young-hoon. Kang Woo told Kim Young-hoon to call his father immediately. Kang Woo talked to Kim Jae-hyun and said that he was holding his son hostage. Kang Woo explained how the condition concerned his son, and if he wanted to save him, Kim Jae-hyun had to come alone to the C-rank gate. Kim Jae-hyun also threatened Kang Woo. Could he survive after threatening one of the 5 big guilds that cooperated with the government? While torturing his son, Kang Woo kept taunting Kim Jae-hyun with harsh words until he was furious. Kang Woo gave 20 minutes. If he didn't come, he would suffer the consequences. Kim Young-hoon apologized to Kang Woo because he had already suffered from his torture and was going to give Kang riches, but that made Kang Woo want to torment him even more. After completing the preparations to meet Kim Jae-in, Kang Woo used manipulation and power of fear skills on Kim Young-hoon until he lost his sanity. Then Kang Woo brought Sai-hoon and the other injured party members out of the gate. Cha Yenju and Baek Hwaeon waited for Kang Woo outside the gate while carrying soldiers. According to Cha Yeonju, because the Mir Guild is related to the demonic cult, he also has to bring as much troops as possible. But according to Baek Hwaeon, this decision is too hasty because the opponent is the guild master Mir. According to Kang Woo, there was nothing to worry about because he already had a plan. Moreover, he had made his son lose his sanity. Not long after, Kim Jae-hyun came with his people, but suddenly, Kang Woo immediately gave Kim Young-hoon to Kim Jae-hyun. Cha Yenju and Baek Hwaeon were surprised. Why did Kang Woo give his hostage that easily? When Kim Jae-hyun tried to talk to Kim Young-hoon, he was shocked because his own son didn't recognize him. Even Kim Young-hoon felt fear when he saw his father. Not only did he lose his sanity, Kang Woo also instilled power of fear in Kim Young-hoon. Kim Jae-hyun said, "What did Kang Woo do to his son to make him like this?" Kang Woo just answered with a grin. Kim Jae-hyun was furious and released great energy. He was a ranker who had gotten his 9th awakening and one of Korea's top rankers. Kim Jae-hyun also advanced to attack with S-rank fortification skills, but the first player to face him was Cha Yenju using a legendary rank weapon, Bloodstain Chain. Cha Yenju tried to tie Kim Jae-hyun up with the chain weapon, but it didn't last long because Kim Jae-hyun was very strong. At the same time, Baek Hwaeon also launched her wind skill. The result of the combination of the two of them could make Kim Jae-hyun hurt. Kang Woo, who was just watching behind, laughed at Kim Jae-hyun. Even though Cha Yenju and Baek Hwaeon attacked together, Kim Jae-hyun's attention was only on Kang Woo. Even though his body was injured, Kim Jae-hyun continued to charge towards Kang Woo regardless of the attacks from Cha Yenju and Baek Hwaeon. They continued to combine their attacks to continuously attack Kim Jae-hyun. When Kim Jae-hyun was close to Kang Woo, Baek Hwaeon did the finishing touch by stabbing Kim Jae-hyun in the back and pushing him to his limit. Kim Jae-hyun also lost and knelt right in front of Kang Woo, who was grinning. Kang Woo said, "Do you know who I am now?" Then they took the son and father to the headquarters of the Hwaring army. Cha Yenju asked for an explanation to Kang Woo, why he could make Kim Young-hoon be like that. Kang Woo replied that he only changed his memory a little. But Cha Yenju was increasingly curious. Why did Kang Woo have such strength? Kang Woo said that she doesn't need to know everything and doesn't need to understand everything. If she could be a big help to him, then Kang Woo would also help her in return. Cha Yenju thought she shouldn't have raised tiger cubs, and it was too late for regrets. They took Kim Jae-hyun to the interrogation room. Baek Hwaeon asked a few questions about the demonic cult, but he still wouldn't open his mouth. Cha Yenju, who was feeling irritated and angry, and remembering that many of her colleagues had died because of the demonic cult, she started torturing Kim Jae-hyun. Kim Jae-hyun, who was being tortured, just laughed and said that you guys have actually lost and can't understand how big they are, and what they are planning is unimaginable. But not with Kang Woo's turn. He said he would heal his son Kim Young-hoon back to normal if he opened his mouth. Kim Jae-in would easily give him information about the demonic cult. According to Kim Jae-hyun, he met a person wearing a crimson mask about 8 months ago. Even he didn't know his identity. That person made an offer. If Kim Jae-hyun provided the materials for their ceremony, that person would make Kim Jae-hyun become a demon and gain great power. According to Kim Jae-hyun, demons are immortal. As long as their necks are still attached and their hearts don't explode, they can live forever without aging. They have been around for thousands of years or more. They have also spread their armies all over the world, and they have been active recently. According to Kang Woo, if the demonic army existed for more than thousands of years, Kang Woo assumed that it was a group that was formed during the Day of Destruction, and it seemed they had even deeper roots. Kim Jae-hyun also said that as long as they perform the ceremony, he will get demonic energy. He also said that the demonic cult plans to summon demons from the dimensional wall. About 1 month ago, they also summoned a demon because the dimensional wall was quite weak. Hearing that, Kang Woo thought that everything that happened to the demonic cult, he was the cause. According to Kang Woo, The reason the demonic cult has started to become active recently is because he destroyed the Gaia system when he returned to Earth. At this rate, it's likely that all the demons and monsters will come to Earth, even the people from Eleanor as well. Thinking about it can make Kang Woo crazy, and according to now, he has to focus on the demonic cult first. According to Kim Jae-hyun, the location of the demonic cult headquarters is not relevant because they like to move places. He also said, it wasn't just the Mir Guild that was involved with the demonic cult, but many other guilds were involved. Hearing that Kim Jae-hyun was caught, the demonic cult, Cardinal was quite surprised. He had thought Kim Jae-hyun would be quite useful, but he was defeated so easily. But since they had offerings from other guilds, they weren't sure that the plan would be delayed. What he didn't understand, why Kim Jae-hyun directly intervened. After knowing what happened, the Cardinal started to investigate Kang Woo. They also said that they had obtained favors and items from the cult. The item was a demonic crystal containing obtained demonic energy. They planned to do something about it and start with an S-Gate rank monster El Cuero. The next day, Kang Woo and the others visited Si-hoon, who was being treated in the hospital. Han and the rest of the party knew that Kang Woo had a lot of secrets that couldn't be told. Kang Woo apologized and trusted him enough, and he also promised to tell everything when the time came. Si-hoon was also happy after hearing about Kim Jae-hyun and Kim Young-hoon. According to Kang Woo, the two of them would rot in prison for the rest of their lives. Even their headquarters and Mir Electronics faltered because of this case. Kang Woo also heard that Kim Jae-hyun had made calculations to make sure Si-hoon was drowning in debt. Si-hoon will get legal compensation because of that, and his mother, who is currently being treated, will be transferred to a better facility. Si-hoon is very happy, grateful. According to him, meeting Kang Woo was the luckiest moment in his life, and started calling Kang Woo Big Brother. Si-hoon also wants to tell everyone that he also has a secret. Si-hoon said, just like the rumors said, he awakened a special ability in his first awakening. That special ability was called Descendant of the Martial Arts God, and it was an SSS rank. Hearing that, all the party members were surprised except for Kang Woo, because he already knew about it. According to Si-hoon, the message he received when he awakened as a player was different from other people. The system notified Si-hoon, due to a malfunction of the Gaia system, he was chosen as a protector. Hearing that, Kang Woo was shocked. Even a top ranker like Cha Yenju didn't know about the Gaia system. Besides that, he was chosen as a protector to help the system or something. Si-hoon also said that he awakened on May 22nd. According to Kang Woo, that was the same day that the Gaia system was broken, and he returned to Earth. Kang Woo thought that Si-hoon was the key to recovering the Gaia system. Kang Woo thought that Si-hoon was a protagonist, but it turned out to be more important than he thought. Kang Woo was excited to make Si-hoon his subordinate. The next day, Kang Woo and Echidna went hunting for quite a long time, but finally, Kang Woo rose to level 50 and got his 6th awakening. But the system didn't tell Kang Woo what his special ability was because the condition for achieving extreme demonic delay had not been met. Kang Woo was disappointed because he didn't even know the instructions for activating the condition. At the same time, Han contacted Kang Woo through the communication ball as she and her mother were preparing to move their residence. Kang Woo gave an elite apartment to Han and his mother, because Kang Woo already considered them as his family. Kang Woo got the apartment from Red Rose Guild, Cha Yenju. Hearing that, Han was jealous because she couldn't give Kang Woo the same thing as Cha Yenju. Then, Kang Woo went with Han and Echidna to accompany them shopping. Kang Woo also forgot the reason he wanted to return to Earth was because he wanted to enjoy all the delicious food there was. While they were enjoying their meal, suddenly Baek Kang-yoon, a ranker number 1 in Korea, approached Kang Woo. The reason Baek Kang-yoon met Kang Woo was because he heard rumors that Kang Woo was someone sponsored by the Red Rose Guild. He straight to the point. He invites Kang Woo to join his guild, Hanul Guild. He offers 5 billion won, cars, and houses to Kang Woo. Baek Kang-yoon will give everything now too. He will even give Kang Woo the direct executive position. Kang Woo said he was expecting more, and this is too little. He was very surprised and thought Kang Woo as a funny person. He also asked, what conditions can make Kang Woo satisfied? Kang Woo just laughed. Beak Kangyun also offered one legendary rank equipment for free if Kang Woo joined his guild. Legendary items are extraordinarily rare items that cannot be bought with money. The majority of legendary rank equipment could max out all stats, but according to Kang Woo, even if it was a legendary rank, if it couldn't increase its demonic energy, it would be useless. Kang Woo still refused Beak Kanghyun's offer and said, if he is now not interested in joining any guild. Beak Kangyun gave up and left immediately. Then, Kang Woo went to the Red Rose Guild to meet Cha Yenju because he wanted to ask about Beak Kangyun. According to Cha Yeonju, Beak Kangyun is unpredictable and once went berserk during the world ranking evaluation. It was a discussion about having a world ranker in a country for the first time, but Beak Kangyun lost to another ranker and was disqualified. The ranker that defeated him was the owner of a mythological weapon called Sasano's Eye. The ranker was called Fujimoto Ryoma, who came from Japan. Then Beak Hwaeon came to tell Kang Woo and Cha Yenju that she found an unconfirmed item while investigating the Mir Guild. It was a legendary rank equipment. Beak Hwaeon explained about the cloak's effects and skills, but Kang Woo didn't listen. He just smiled happily. Kang Woo is very grateful to Beak Hwaeon because she has given legendary rank equipment and will try harder to eradicate the demonic cult. Kang Woo also wore the legendary item, and he was very impressed because his demonic energy increased. Chan Yenju was very curious how strong Kang Woo was now. She asked Kang Woo to have a duel with her. According to Kang Woo, Cha Yenju is the most ideal opponent for now, and he accepts the challenge. They swiftly charged at each other with incredible speed. Cha Yenju uses her legendary weapon to attack, because the practice area is quite narrow, which makes it very effective. But Kang Woo, with his power of sky skill, was able to avoid Cha Yenju's successive attacks. Kang Woo tried his legendary equipment skill, which can add demonic energy, and it made him faster. They fight without control to make Beak Hwaeon worried, until finally, Kang Woo used a combination of his skills, Power of Thousand and Destruction. Even Cha Yenju couldn't avoid it because the skill's range was too great. Kang Woo stopped his attack, and Cha Yenju was defeated in a matter of minutes. Cha Yenju didn't expect that Kang Woo was so strong and called him a monster, even though Cha Yenju also used the same legendary rank equipment. But the difference was huge. Cha Yenju thought, was he really human? At the same time, Beak Hwaeon was angry because the two of them couldn't hold back and destroyed the practice area, which was worth millions of dollars from people's taxes. Feeling guilty, Kang Woo thought about how he would pay for the repairs. He could sell the mana stones from the giant ogre, but that would take a long time. According to Kang Woo, if he hunts high-class monsters, surely the monster drops can also be legendary or even higher. Kang Woo suggested Cha Yenju and Beak Hwaeon to hunt down the boss monster El Cuero. The monster lives underwater and close-range attacks are impossible. The monster also has high magic resistance and often hides in the water. Even with long-range attacks it will be difficult. Kang Woo also knew that it would be difficult to kill it, but the reason for Kang Woo to hunt the monster was because of its sixth awakening. The possibility of killing it was the key to breaking the level limit. Rankers will be blocked by 2 walls when they level up. Ultimate effort at level 59, and ultimate talent at level 89. The most common method players used to get past this wall was to defeat a powerful boss monster to surpass its own limits. Cha Yenju is also stuck at ultimate talent level 89. If she tries this, maybe she will succeed. Cha Yenju agreed to help Kang Woo out of guilt too. Kang Woo said that he already had a plan, but needed one close-range attacker. He would also bring Echidna. Beak Hwaeon said that she had a ranker acquaintance like that and would bring him along. After making preparations, they went to the S-rank gate. Beak Hwaeon introduced her members to Kang Woo. He was Hyunmo, a captain of the 2nd unit of the Hwarang army. Beak Hwaeon told how strong Kang Woo was. He didn't believe that Kang Woo was a stronger person than Cha Yenju. In his opinion, Kang Woo should be Korea's top ranker. Near the lake where El Cuero lives, there are many rock giant monsters, but those monsters are not aggressive. According to Kang Woo, the giant rock monster was the key to the plan to kill El Cuero. First, They prepared a giant hook with a chain. Kang Woo also used his skills to make the lake vibrate. Shortly after, a large shadow appeared in the water. It was El Cuero heading towards the surface of the lake. The monster surfaced and its size was enormous. It also let out a poison needle attack. Echidna used the barricade demonic skill and was able to withstand it, but not for too long. Kang Woo used the skill power of Sky to bring Hyunmo and Baek Hwaeon flying towards the monster. They immediately stuck the hook on the monster while holding it with their strength. But it's a little difficult, because the monster is strong and trying to escape into the water. Kang Woo immediately dived, and he used the power of destruction and made El Cuero fly a little up. According to Kang Woo, his attack was weakened because it was carried out in water. It couldn't even make a fatal wound. El Cuero also uses electricity to protect himself, but they are not worried because they get a barrier from the Echidna. Kang Woo used his blade skill to make a laceration and entered El Cuero's body. Kang Woo made a big hole wound until the monster was unconscious. Then next is Cha Yenju's turn. Because the hook is tied directly to the rock giants, Cha Yenju used her skills to make the rock giants pull El Cuero to the side of the lake. Kang Woo held the hook that was stuck and tried not to let it go. Even though Kang Woo had used the strength of iron in thousands, he still felt great pressure. Suddenly, El Cuero came to his senses and got even more aggressive. The monster launched its poison attack, but was still blocked by the Echidna. According to Kang Woo, is the monster stronger than he thought? If it continues like this, the rock giant will be destroyed first. With the special skill of the bloodthirsty Cha Yenju and the skills of the gargoyle armor, they are able to weaken El Cuero and are able to pull him to the side of the lake. They all started attacking El Cuero in succession, but the monster didn't weaken. Kang Woo opened his myriad demon palace. It was like a demonic energy storage place, and there were 3 doors. According to Kang Woo, since he didn't need to go that far, he only took a little bit of his demonic energy. Kang Woo combines the skills of the power of Hellfire and Dark Spear, creating his new Awakening 6 technique. Kang Woo also launched the attack and the effect was very strong. At the same time, Kang Woo's stats window informed, because he had combined 3 powers, he had activated the second condition for extreme demonic delay. They were all impressed by Kang Woo's powerful attack, but Kang Woo just realized why there is no confirmation message that El Cuero has lost. Sure enough, suddenly, the monster rose again. According to Kang Woo, with the skill that was able to defeat the demon from the 7th hell easily, but he was surprised by the gate monster, which was not a demon able to survive its attacks. El Cuero suddenly released demonic energy, and with great power, the monster also tried to escape. Everyone tried to restrain him using Cha Yenju's legendary item. Because Kang Woo had already used his 3 powers, he didn't have enough demonic energy. Suddenly, Echidna changed into her dragon form and surprised everyone. He easily killed El Cuero with 1 strike. Since Kang Woo's level limit hasn't been unlocked yet, the X gained from defeating El Cuero will be saved. Kang Woo also checked El Cuero's body because the monster could use demonic energy. Sure enough, Kang Woo found a gemstone in El Cuero's body. According to Kang Woo, El Cuero must be able to use demonic energy because of gemstones. Within the gemstone was condensed demonic energy. It's not like the usual mana stone embodiment, and it's like someone made it. Kang Woo immediately knew that this was all the work of the demonic cult, and also told people. Kang Woo didn't expect that the demonic cult could create demonic energy physically with such purity, and made Kang Woo so excited and wanted to devour it. After all the business was done, they returned to Hwaring headquarters to rest. They also shared the rest of the money they got from selling the El Cuero mana stones. Baek Hwaeon said that the tail of El Cuero could be made into a legendary equivalent in the shape of a sword, but the equipment can increase strength or ability. The imprint requirements are difficult. According to Baek Hwaeon, it can only be used by player stats unique key, which is like in Miram novels, which are predominantly in the Asian region. But Kang Woo said that he knew a suitable person who had unique stats. 2 weeks passed and Baek Hwaeon announced that the equipment being forged was ready. They named the sword El Cuero Blade, which could use lightning-attributed attacks. Baek Hwaeon also told Kang Woo that the search for gemstones turned up nothing, even though she had mobilized many troops. The Red Rose Guild also found no trace of the demonic cult. In Kang Woo's opinion, there was no way the demonic cult just implanted the demonic crystal in only El Cuero. At the same time, the demonic cult cardinal was angry that El Cuero had been defeated. They did not find the gemstone that was on El Cuero, and had no clue as there was only the remnants of the battle. According to them, gems and other monsters are fine. The demonic cult cardinal didn't expect El Cuero to be defeated, even though for the last 5 years El Cuero was undefeated, and that made his plans significantly delayed. Cardinal suggested another method to his subordinates. In their opinion, using that method was too big of a risk and world-class rankers would not stay silent. Cardinal said that he no longer needed to play it safe and not care about facing even world rankers. He ordered his subordinates to infuse gemstones into other monsters. The demonic cult cardinal thought that Cha Yenju was the one who defeated El Cuero and thought that Kang Woo was only Cha Yenju's closest person. Cardinal ordered her subordinates to prepare shadow, and their goal was to make Kang Woo hostage. At the same time, Kang Woo went to the B rank gate to meet Sai Hoon. All party members were happy when they met Kang Woo. Kang Woo gave El Cuero blade to Sai Hoon because he has the right stats. All the party members were surprised when Sai Hoon got a legendary rank equipment. Kang Woo told Sai Hoon that he would become a strong ranker in the future and told him to prove his worth. Sai Hoon was happy and very grateful to Kang Woo. According to Sai Hoon, when he first met Kang Woo, he felt rejection towards Kang Woo, but now it's gone. He feels that he and Kang Woo feel connected to each other. According to Sai Hoon, he will now live to serve Kang Woo and live up to his expectations. Then Kang Woo saw a gemstone that was in Sai Hoon's hand. Kang Woo asked how he got it. According to Sai Hoon, when he was inside the gate fighting a minotaur and found a gemstone coming out of his body. Sai Hoon also plans to give the gemstone to Kang Woo as a gift. Kang Woo was very happy, and it was not in vain that he made Sai Hoon his subordinate. When Kang Woo and Han were going home, suddenly people from the demonic cult appeared. They told Kang Woo not to fight back and follow their orders. Kang Woo just smiled and told them not to step on his car. The demonic cultists start to attack Kang Woo, but Kang Woo uses the power of Sky to bring Han to safety first. He told Han not to interfere and Kang Woo would take care of them all ASAP. Han gave Grace of Light, a buff skill to Kang Woo that could increase his default stats. They used chains to attack, and Kang Woo knew that they weren't amateurs. But Kang Woo used his new skill power of Frost. With the blink of an eye, everyone from demonic cult froze. Kang Woo started to interrogate them with the skill power of Dread, but they were able to resist, and there was a seal on his tongue. Suddenly, that person blew himself up. According to Kang Woo, it seemed like someone was hiding and didn't want to show himself. At the same time, Cardinal Demonic Cult was annoyed, for he had been waiting for his subordinate who was kidnapping Kang Woo for a long time. He thought that Cha Yenju showed up and fought with his underlings. Cardinal also said that he had gathered about 30% of the fragments and prepared his plan. And yes, he took off his mask. The true identity of the demonic cultist called Cardinal was Korea's #1 ranker, Baek Kang-yoon.